Well, people say, and I believe that some are engineers by profession, some too are born engineers. And I think I'm also a born engineer. I was going to school, but I had my own schooling. I picked metals from the grounds, trying to create some things, I didn't bring a hammer from Japan. I only brought to my head the exposure I had. A human being, when you get to a place where your dignity is tempered with, if you're a real human being, I tell you, you will not enjoy the place. When people come here and they said, oh, the person makes you a human, I want to be an engineer, I ask them first, is it in your blood? If you don't have engineering in your blood, you'll be frustrated. Every business has its struggles until you put your head into it. For others, sometimes it's overwhelming. We always, by the grace of God, we always have others.
Welcome to today's episode of My Business Story, where real entrepreneurs share the raw, unfiltered journey behind their brands. We explore the moment that shaped their hustle, the challenges they've overcome, and the lessons they are still learning. Whether you are building your own business or just love a good story, you are in the right place. Let's get into it.
Yes, my name is Patrick Ufuri Ata Eje. Disclaimer, not related to the financial ... I'm a mechanical engineer. And the name of my company is Fabrications. We are into general engineering designing and metal fabrications. So we do anything with metal. We cut it, we bend it, we drill it, we twist it. We do anything with metal into useful products. We do agri-processing stuffs. We do food processing machinery, like hammer mills, cutters, slicers, shredders. We are also into solar drying. We build solar dryers, and then sometimes it's even difficult to say what we do because most of the things that come here, we're able to handle it. Yes. So we're also in construction industry. We do retrofitting for solar installations. Before we fix solar panels onto a building or a structure, we call something structural integrity assessment. When the assessment is done, based on the recommendation of the structural engineer, we come in to do retrofitting. We come in to either strengthen some of the trusses, or we come in to do some fabrication to meet the standard so that the structure can support the weight of the panels. Yes, so we do that too. We do construction to structures, etc. Well, people say, and I believe that some are engineers by profession, some too are born engineers. And I think I'm also a born engineer because I started way back when I was a kid. When I was going to school. I was going to school, but I had my own schooling. I picked metals from the grounds, trying to create some things, and that's way back. So after my education, I went to Accra Polytechnic. That's where I met Mr. Reverend K. So we all did engineering, but I did mechanical engineering in OTD. Started mechanical engineering in OTD. I had the opportunity to travel. So I left to Japan for some few years, about 5 years. I was in Cameroon first. I traveled to some places, but later I landed in Japan, where I didn't go to school. I just went there to explore and work. And over there too, I had a lot of exposure, So when I came down, I decided to start something on my own. I started first of all with Perspex products. Perspex? Perspex on acrylic plastic. Yeah. I just started, it was a hobby, and then it turned into a business. But you cannot part mechanical engineering from metals. So as I was working the plastic products, I was gradually investing into, the metal side of the business. Oh, in fact, it's not a pleasant thing to stay in somebody's country, especially when they don't, at a point, they don't see that you are a human being, excuse me to say. So a place like Japan is a very nice place. You enjoy the place. But what I notice is that when you get to Japan, because you don't understand the language, you mingle, you get on. But the moment you start beginning to understand the language, Now staying in that place becomes difficult for you, because now when they insult you, you understand. When they nag, you understand, whatever. So the moment you get there, 3 years, 4 years, by then you have become quite good in the language, and you just feel that, no, a human being, when you get to a place where your dignity is tempered with, if you're a real human being, I tell you, you will not enjoy the place. So I went there for a purpose, to explore and also to raise funds to invest into my business. So after you can't get all the money. After I've gotten something, it's better I come and settle in a house. In Ghana, to start from scratch. I started in the year 2000. So you can know we have 25 years now. Quarter of a century, Abi? In the business. So at least we have some horns. Yes. I said that as a hobby, and I started investing gradually. Every time, even to date, we have a machinery menu, something that we need. When you're in the business, you begin to know clearly your bottlenecks. You know that if I get this one, it will make me better. It will make my work more efficient. I'll get a better finish, and I'll be able to get better business. Whatever business it is, if you waste too much time on it, it is no business. So if you have the right machinery and the right people, it sends you to another level. Yes, so it's gradual. Some people have the notion that because they know that I went to Japan, I bought all these machines. No, that's a big lie. I didn't bring a hammer from Japan. I only brought my head, the exposure I had. See, and also the Japanese say that if you come to that country and you leave that country without even money, and you learn their culture, business culture, their work culture, you can still make it. You see, so I believe that these have also helped me to put me into shape to be able to set up my own business. And like I said, it was small. I started in a very small room. I had one room there. And then gradually we overgrew the space. I moved to the pots. We overgrew the space. We had some palm tree here. We moved under the palm tree. And then I said, no, why don't we start a workshop? Started planting the pillars. And gradually, at a point in time, I won a grant. And that also catapulted us forward. The grant gave us some money to buy some few, machinery. And on and on and on. Currently, we are about 8. Okay, 6 to 8. Some are permanent, some are, yes. But every time, I make sure I maintain about 6 workers. Every business has its struggles until you put your head into it. Lucrative, I'll say yes. Because out of it, I've been able to take care of my children. They have finished school. One just finished her master's, etc. The same business, not a loan from a bank or anything. So I would say fine, it's lucrative, but still there's room to do better. Yes, and it's also my passion. And I always say that if you have to choose a profession, look for what you love doing. I started with a lot of people. In fact, some even started before I started, but we've gone further because it's my passion. Whether I gain or I lose, I still love what I'm doing. And I think that is what has also made us to succeed. Because when I have challenges, there's nothing like going back. It's in the blood. You have to keep on doing it. Yeah. So I always advise the young men that look for something that you love doing. I always say that even if I grow old and I'm 90 years and I'm not in active business, at least some small file on a table that I'll do my own thing to make me happy there, I'll still maintain it because it's in the blood. Yeah. And that makes me happy. So, yes, struggles are in it. But what do? You move on. For others, sometimes it's overwhelming. It's overwhelming. We always, by the grace of God, we always have others. And I think because we do a whole lot of stuffs, so that also gives us a very wide net. You see, so For others, we get a lot of orders. And then for how much we make, I would say that on the average, we are supposed to, or we really make, the minimum a day, 1,000 we should be able to make a day. Yes, we should be able to make thousands a day. That's from the service jobs. Somebody will have something to machine, he will come, you do. Somebody will have something to bend, some bending, some stuffs, But for the contracts, that one is another skill. We make a lot of money there. Yeah. What we get from the service jobs that come here is what I also rally to pay the workers. So that when the contract comes, the bunch money comes, that one is for investment. That's what I will take some to invest into new machinery that I want to purchase, etc., etc. And I always believe in reinvesting. I don't keep money in the bank, it's useless. I rather invest. If I'm not paying for a machinery, I rather buy some material and put down, so that when the jobs come, we can rely on them.
Ghana is home to over 2 million small and medium enterprises, the heartbeat of our economy. But only a few ever break through beyond their neighborhoods, beyond their streets, beyond their cities. That's why my business story exists, to give these everyday businesses the voice, visibility, and platform they need to succeed. If you believe in supporting local dreams and growing African businesses, then please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Let's tell their stories together.
First, we give thanks to God. He's our helper. Number two, I think that my father, late father, he was an engineer too. My father was working with GBC. He was doing radio engineering over there. Now, we were all born at the GBC areas. And he saw my talent at a very, very early age. So anytime he has to go on trek, he was working with the transmitters, transmitting stations. Yeah. So anytime he has to go on trek, he picks me alone. I have 5 siblings, but he always goes with me because he noticed that there was something in me. You see, whenever he has to go to work at weekends to maybe pick something from the workshop or from the place, he goes with me. And the moment I see the machinery, the very huge generators, the transmission machines and all that, I become so excited. I just go run to the back of the building, pick scraps there. You wouldn't even know about it. Then run and go and hide it in the car and then get back to him. Just pick things. And when I get to the house, then I sit down and spread it and I begin to do my own thing. And when people ask me, what are you doing? Somehow, and at that early age, I felt that they wouldn't understand what I was doing. So I would just tell them I'm doing my thing. In 3 years, I said, I said, I don't have a case with anybody. They won't, but it is when I finish, then they will say like, oh, so this is what we are doing. I say, yes. Initially, if I had explained, you wouldn't understand it. So, you see, so somehow my mind was on another level. You see, so I think my father also inspired me because he was able to catch me very young. But unfortunately, I went to a pure secondary school. I'm an old Tom. I went to Aquarian Secondary School and I did science. But after the course, now the brain was open. I told I want to do engineering still. I said, okay. I looked around and I found out, okay, if I go to poly, I can do mechanical engineering. And I said, I want something, hands-on or something. Yeah, so I went to poly and then finished my course there. In fact, when I finished OTD, those times they didn't have a degree course here at Accra Technical University, right? Yeah, those times it was a technical university. It was just, polytechnic. I had to go to tech for HND. And around that time, I had the opportunity to travel. But when I came back, I asked myself, the exposure I've had, I'm just going to waste my time in tech. Because I look at the tech people, they have not produced anything. So I'm going to be one of them. I said, no, with my exposure, it's enough. I have to start something. And to date, we people from tech come here for attachments and other things. People from Koforidua Technical University, people from design technology, people from even Accra Poly and all other places, they come for internship here. Yes, there is. we have challenges there. Sometimes the training that they have had, is not very consistent with what we are doing. So when they come, I have to take my time to teach them things the right way. And that's a lot of time, and investment. And unfortunately, after they have known something, they feel so, then they leave. You see, so I have series of people I have worked and trained with them, and they get to a place, they feel that they are boss. They know something small, no, and then they leave. But so that goes, so that come. Once, before you came, me, I was there. When you leave, I will be there. Another person will come. So I also see it as part of the investment I'm also putting into people. So no ill feeling about it at all. Yeah, whatever I'm able to do myself with the people I'm training around, we do. Yes. One lesson. I've learned many lessons. So, number one is that you have to be consistent. I mean, whatever vision you have, challenges are normal. So when challenges come your way, right, I think that you have to understand that it is part of the game. Just like a footballer understands that when he is scored, it's part of the game. You either score or you win, right? So you have to understand that the challenges will always come. And then number two, if you don't give up, you always win out. If you never give up, you always win out. So you have to stick to what you want, what you are doing. And it's not everything that goes so smooth in this life. And that's how it is. Just like you ride on the road, you get to a place, you never knew there are potholes there. But you have to go through. So you can decide to turn back and go home, Abi. Or you can decide to go through the potholes, and then you get along the Bahamas, you get a better road, and then you move to your destination. So that's how it is. So life is not very smooth sometimes, but once you have a vision and you have a goal, you keep on. Yes. One thing I would say is that having discovered your passion and you have something in mind, you should write it down. When you write it down, it is the first step of action of your faith. You don't need money to start business. You need ideas. And if the ideas is channeled to solving problems, you automatically have their money. Because from the time you are born, you have a problem. I always say that everybody has his type of problem. Even the little baby has his problem. You understand? So if you're able to identify the problems of the society, the problem that people are facing around, and then attempt to look for solution, you become a medium for exchange. The money will come to you. So if you are a young man, start thinking. Ideas are plenty, but look for the one that solve problems for people. And if you really solve their problem, you will grow in it and it becomes a big business. When people come here and they said, "Oh, I want to be an engineer. I ask them first, is it in your blood? If you don't have engineering in your blood, you will be frustrated. See, because engineering is basically solving problems. You have to be wired in a way that you should be able to look at things in different perspectives and bring out solutions. And that is actually what education is about. Unfortunately, our type of education here is different. People choose. I have friends. People got their masters and go to tech and learn everything about engineering, but they don't have anything to show. So at the end of the day, you ask yourself, is it useless? Is it a good venture? So I think that if anybody comes to me personally, I find out whether the person is wired for that. Some people learn how to play football and they become good, but they don't become good like the people who have the inner intuition to play football. You understand? So that's if a young man comes, I'll try to find out whether his passion is in that area. If you have the passion along the line, you don't have a problem. You just sail through. Yes, and it's gradual. No bank will give you any big money for anything, especially when you are starting. Oh, they don't help. You go there and you tell them, they think that, find a way to take money from them. But they are genuine people who really need money to start. Wow, what a question. You see, when I'm able to create something, I'm able to solve a particular problem, I see that thing as my brainchild. Even as I do these things for people, even when the thing is going away, I feel it. Because it's like I've put something into it, So, and that is the fulfillment which I think nothing can give me, in work. So every time I have something I'm designing, I brainstorm. This time we are lucky. We have the world in our hands. You go to the net, you see a lot of things. And I always tell my workers and friends that, look, everything you can see with your eyes, it comes from somebody's brain. Anything you can count around, apart from even the trees come from God's creation. But I'm not talking about natural things. Any physical thing you can see around is somebody's brain. So it tells us that you also have a brain of your own. So you don't have to do things the same way as everybody does it, And that gives me diversified thinking and makes me think outside the box, to be able to solve problems better. There are people who come here, they say, well, they are masters because they have finished apprenticeship or they have worked for some time. And when they come here, they do things the same way that they were taught. So when we have to brainstorm together, where they're saying, I mean, we do it like this. Why should it be like that? You too, God has put something in your head. How would you want to solve it without what your master taught you? And that place, some people, find it very difficult to depart from what they have been taught. They have become stereotype. You understand? But I always encourage my people that, look, you also have a brain of yours. You can also think and do something differently, and that's very, very important in life, variety. My future vision. In fact, my children tell me that I shouldn't speak these words again in future. And then this time I've changed a little. I say in the near future. Now they are telling me that where is the future? The future is now. Because I'm 60 years. What future again? The future is now. So everything that's in my heart, I want to do it now. I want to really do it now. And I want to use the near future. My immediate future, what I've started working on is I want to get a kind of a small institution. I like starting small because I believe in the principle of the seed. Put the seed in the ground. It has to take time. It will adapt to the environment and then to grow. So I believe in that. I will start a small training school where I will have the opportunity to impart what I have learned over the years to them. You see, and I know it will turn to something big. Even if the funds is enough to start it big, I would want to start small and grow gradually. Yes, so that's what my passion for the future. Get a few people, institutionalize it. Get people from the technical universities or whatever through a kind of an induction, because I can see that there's a very big gap between the classroom and the real field of engineering. And I want to tailor something to fill that gap. Yeah, and I learned this one as people come from school to do attachments here. I can see the big gap. They don't know anything. Yeah, the theory they know. But if you know theory and you can't do anything with it, what is your use? You are less than good for nothing. Yes. My phone number on WhatsApp is my main contact for now. Yes, and also my email. My number is 0244 671 584. 0244 671 584. My name is Patrick Oforiata Eje. My business is P-Tech Fabrications. We are into general engineering designing, and metal fabrication. This is my business story.
Thanks for watching today's episode of My Business Story. If this inspired you, don't forget to like, comment, and share it with someone chasing their own dream. Subscribe for more real stories from entrepreneurs across Ghana and beyond, because every business has a story and yours could be next. See you in the next one.